So these are all hand-to-hand scenarios. This is where we find ourselves in situations where we are physically in a place where we have to defend ourselves. And these are a few techniques we can use. What if somebody actually does have an accessory, a weapon?
Gun or knife?
Knife.
Knife.
Okay.
Oh, these are pretty. So, cut.
Not sharp.
So,
They're not
so here,
sharp.
these are no, these are all real. So no, these are all fake. So we don't have enough time. So we're going to demo the knife, and then we'll have you guys play with the gun. Same concept. So this right here. Come here. Are you right? So most people are right-handed. Same concept. It doesn't work. Doesn't matter left or right.
I'm making sure this doesn't fly.
So the same principle that he spoke with earlier as far as for wrist locks, once the tendons and ligaments are stretched long enough, the fingers aren't able to engage. The same principle or concept works as far as if an individual is trying to use this, it's almost the exact same thing if you have an older brother or older sister that's trying to write, using a marker on you, and they're always trying to color your favorite shirt. Same way this works. Individuals aren't going to use this where it's rigid and it's firm. With that, I'm going to take my opposite hand. I'm just going to cup his wrist. I'm going to cup the back of his knuckles. What it'll look like.
Oh.
A lot of it is momentum, but some of it really is just positioning. If I try to clap, I'm not going to do anything. But if I move a couple, 1 inch over, then I can just turn his wrist long enough that the top 2 fingers, which have the longest ligaments, open up. The rest of it is just sheer momentum. Okay?
Yeah.
Questions? You want to do one more knife and then do gun? Yes? You want to try it? Here.
It sounds easy, or it looks easy. Just, would you remember?
Oh, you want to write on me? So, again, not a slap. Wrist, and just from here.
In the back of her hand.
Mm-hmm. And so you see how everything opened up? Just from an inch out? Exact same thing. So, wrist. Open your hand, relax your hand. It's all about relaxation. And then knuckles.
Knuckles?
His knuckles.
Uh-huh.
His knuckles.
Now clap. You only were out just a few inches.
Yeah.
So now relax.
Oh, you ready for me?
You want to clap? So imagine you had way too much coffee. You're trying to clap your hands.
Whoa!
Got
it.
Ready, Miss Pam?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the one you got to play with for demonstration. This is just an air pistol. There is no pellets in this. Okay. The only reason why I like using this is because it has a mobile hammer, and we like to play a game. The game is if I see him move, I get to pull the trigger.
Wow.
Sorry.
I think that was luck. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, here, switch sides. Safety's off. Okay, hammer's down. You ready? So what he's doing is the exact same principle that you guys just did with the knife. So he's taking one hand that's coming across the wrist. This one is going to his pants pocket. The other one is turning the barrel 180 degrees. From here, my finger that was on the trigger pretty much isn't there any longer, and all he's doing is just peeling this straight back. Okay? So, last speed. I saw you move. So, some gentle folks are going to hand.
We have the question, what happens if an individual has a gun and they're aiming it at you a ways off, like all the way down to the driveway?
If you watch Mythbusters, you cannot dodge a bullet.
Oh, true.
So what you're going to do is, besides catch it in your tooth, is as long as you can make enough distance. I grew up in New Orleans. I'm not exaggerating. The house next door to me was a crack house. So the number of people, I don't think anybody owned the place. It was for condemnation, and it was there for 5 years because the city never did anything. So the amount of sheer will, if somebody says, give me your money with a knife or a gun, give them a knife or a gun. Okay? especially going to play ball, I always,
give him the money.
especially going to play ball, I would always carry, I always have 20 in my hat, 20 in my shoe, 10 in this shoe, and I always would carry a couple of $1 bills in a wad that would be wrapped up into 5. Because I was young, I like Marky Marks. I wanted to look like I was hustling. So but it is always good to bait them. Okay. So we're going to do one more. So we're with a gun into the driveway. There's too many scenarios. So watch your surroundings. Stay in the car. Run over them with the car. It's not legal advice. We're going to do one more. This one is designed that instead of keeping here, let's just do this one. Let's do the trebuchet. Do you know this one?
Yes.
Okay.
This situation, what you're going to do is bring one hand up, right into the bell. You're going to make a V with your hand, right into the bell, point it up. As you do, step in. Now, stepping in is important because your other hand's going to come into the picture. Again, this comes up. This guy slides underneath, and the elbow as close as you can to the face. You're going to grab the pistol, the barrel, you're going to spin it back out, facing them.
So this is
I don't think I could do that.
I
so.
forgot one little part. Make sure you move your neck out of the way.
So we teach this one for folks that might be a little shorter than the average person. It makes it really easy if Roberto is going to practice and put a gun, practice gun of course, to Master Hayden, because there's so much distance already right there. And realize we're talking about you don't have any space. You're wedging a wall, and there is a pistol there. This is much less as far as showing self-defense, but now giving you the opportunity to know what else is out there. So if you're interested in learning self-defense, and it's like, you know what, I saw this guy with long hair, he was really cool, but he had this cool technique I want to learn, or whatever it may be. But for us, it is much more to show you guys what is out there. There's so much out there. And so anyway, yeah, one more thing to add?
No, do you have any?
No.
Okay, thank you so much.
Can I ask one question?
You just did.
I just did. I guess I don't drive to Kansas City very often, but it seems like you hear so much about carjackings. So how do people get carjacked? I mean, what happens that somebody would,
You know, I
besides leaving their car run at the gas station, what other scenario happens that people lose control of their car?
well, I mean, there are a number of scenarios where you're at a stoplight or you're at a stop sign and so on and so forth. There are a number of things that can actually affect. I wish we had so much more time. I really want to discuss this. It was a really good question. I had to think about, do we have enough time to cover this? So what I was going to offer to the group is, if you guys have enjoyed this and want to learn more, and are interested in more self-defense if vehicle is involved, we can definitely set up a seminar. We can, an hour and a half or so, maybe even an hour. Because there's a lot of things that can happen in a car. And one technique is not necessarily the best technique. But a really good question. I wish we had the time.
And we can take a few minutes afterwards, too.
Yes.
I'd be glad to do that. We'll just, I can be the driver.
Okay.
I'll have my shades on.
So folks, today, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We have worked
Thank
on. We did a quick overview of some of the techniques we did with self-defense. Somebody grabs your wrist, do the fist. Grabs your hair, keep that tight. Somebody grabs puts you in a choke, Michael Jackson or baseball. Somebody has a gun, cross slap, get the barrel out of the way. Number of things, and these are just surface levels. But I want you to be able to carry something with you as you go home. And if you have any questions, please do stick around. We're here for another 15 minutes or so. And if anybody's interested, we can definitely set up another seminar. And I think it would be a great idea. And before I ramble on and on and on, we also have some feedback forms that you can grade us. C is my favorite color, or sorry, letter. So please go ahead, do fill this out, and we're here for another 15 minutes if you have any questions. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Does anybody want to do a couple of minutes of questions? We're all still here, or are you ready for evaluations? It's up to you all.
Or dinner.
We have some food.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you all want to help? And